the dialogue. I personally think this is the show's weakest area. To me, I think this is the only difference that is noticeable between the dialogue of Game of Thrones, like the House of the Dragon, and this show. I think the Game of Thrones has better dialogue. This show has some dialogue that feels like a young writer writing fantasy for the first time and throwing in Shakespearean language randomly to make it old-fashioned when it doesn't fit. And it has characters speaking in strange ways with strange, like just random world-building things, but it doesn't actually build the world. One example of this is the Harfoot's toe cream. Like, that's supposed to world build, but it really doesn't, because it actually just makes me question, like, what do you mean Harfoot toe cream? Like, what are you talking about? Like, explain what the heck is fireweed, first of all, and why do Harfoots need toe cream? Why not just build shoes? Like, what's going on? If they need toe cream, then they have, like, toe fungus. Like, is this a problem for Harfoot? Like, you know what I mean? So it just makes me question, like, what's going on.
Yeah, you put fireweed in our toe cream.
Whereas when George R. R. Martin world builds, he uses what Tolkien uses, which is stories being told by in-world characters about previous characters in-world. And that way, it's you are learning traditions as if you're in the world, and you get immersed. And we don't get enough of that in this. You get a lot more of it in the Game of Thrones show right now, when you've got Viserys constantly talking about his ancestors and this dagger and passing down this duty to save the realm. I mean, I don't even like that plot line in Game of Thrones, and yet it's better world building than what we're getting here. Here, the only world building we're getting is visual, which I love visual, but you need these characters to be helping us get immersed into the world. Like Peter Jackson has Aragorn just randomly like talk about some old elvish folk heroes and folk tales, like to the hobbits, and it helps world build there. The hobbits mention second breakfast in a random joke. That world builds. I know more about hobbits from that joke than I know about Harfoots from like a scene where they're honoring their dead people. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much more. There's a strategy to how you throw in these jokes or these random bits of their cultural identity, and I just feel like this show throws it in there just as throwaway lines and doesn't think about them. Whereas Peter Jackson, Tolkien, and George R. R. Martin are thinking about the ramifications of what this joke or what this random story that a character will tell, what it means for the overall history of this fantasy world. And so that's my current problem with this show, and it's frustrating because I think if they had just allowed Peter Jackson to stay on to read the scripts, and all he did was cross out random bits of dialogue that were kind of dumb, I think this show is just it's immediately gold to a lot of people. And so it's unfortunate that they ghosted Peter Jackson in that way, and it's